Hello everybody, and welcome once again to Tony's Songs from the Church here in Weast, St Luke's Church, and we've got the lovely altar behind us there. Lots of chitter-chatter going on because we've just had a nice service this morning, and Tim Ward came along to the service as well. Tim is a member of our art club, and he's also I was going to say past master then. That's another organisation.
No.
You're also a past chairman, aren't you? So
of the club, yes.
Of the club. So over to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your art.
Well, art has always been part of my life, even as a child, and a lot of people grow out of art, or leave it behind when they leave school, and I never did that.
Yeah.
I was a student. I did my A-levels, and then I went to university to study biology, and all the way through that time, I still carried on drawing and painting, mainly pastels.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did a lot of art when I was at university as a recreational thing, as well as modelling. I was a member of the War Games Society, so we used to paint little soldiers. Wow. But I also used to paint painting. So painting and modelling were a very big part of my life.
When you finished university, did you take the artistic route, or which route did you take?
No, I decided when I was thinking about leaving school, I really liked art. I was very interested in military history and being a soldier, and I wanted to be a doctor, medicine. Okay. So I realised being an artist, I would never earn a lot of money. Being a soldier was a hard life, but I was still interested. But science was my passion, so I studied science at university.
So you're a scientist?
But whilst I am a scientist.
You are Dr. Ward the scientist?
I am Dr. Ward the scientist.
Dr. Ward the scientist and the artist, how about that? What have we got here today? How wonderful is that? Hey? So tell us more about your art then.
Right, so the art, I continued to do that, and most of it was watercolour or some pastel works. And I was particularly interested in wildlife and animals because I was studying biology, so wildlife and natural history came naturally to me. Yeah. And I did that. I mean, one of the pictures I did when I was at university is this one.
Well, tell us, hold up to the camera and tell us about it.
It's a leopard in a tree, and I really enjoyed painting big cats. So I started to do a collection of big cats.
Beautiful,
in supposedly watercolour, but it's more actually gouache than actual water.
And the way it's attached to the tree, or the limbs, the balance with the tail behind it as well, yeah.
Well, that's why, because I created the image from other images, and that was one of the things I do in my art. Yeah, I don't copy.
And that's watercolour? That's
watercolour.
It's just out of your head?
Well, I used photographs,
but
I drew it out of my head.
Yeah. Different photographs, what came up with the one picture.
I don't copy, so I just...
Does it have a title?
No, just leopard. Just leopard in a tree. Just says leopard there. And
what it says on the can?
Yeah. 1976.
So you can't put that in the art show?
No.
2 years, you've got to be 2 years old.
I know, it's so frustrating. I can only put them in 2 years with my experience.
Give that to me and I'll just put it over here.
So I left university and went home for a couple of years before I settled down. And that was another one, it's a landscape, and that was a watercolour landscape I did.
Any particular location?
No, that was straight out of my head.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I just loved it.
And the colours,
and the stippling, the fine
mood
detail
as well that you caught.
And I really like the shadows in the water and the things like that. So shadows and reflections became part of my art. And this one was 77. And 77 was a very important year for me, both artistically.
Why is that?
I met my wife in 77.
Yeah.
And I have a painting that I did when we were courting that I'm very pleased about. We had a little spat, and my wife and I weren't talking. And then one day there was a knock on the door, and my girlfriend had turned up, and my mother said, "She's here." Because not mothers are like, they're always protective. Yeah. And my wife...
Hang on a minute, wait a minute. Now, it was your wife, or you was with the wife, or it was a girlfriend that turned up?
No, it was my girlfriend.
She was your girlfriend then?
I keep referring to my wife, she was my girlfriend.
I thought you were saying, we had a spat with my wife, and then the girlfriend turned up.
No. No, it wasn't quite like that. My girlfriend, who became my wife, and she came in and she said, came up to my room and she said, "I found this in a magazine. This is falling apart now.
Wow.
This little picture of a black and white tiger.
Show it to the camera.
This tiny little picture, and she said, I thought you might like to draw it," because she knew I drew on painting.
Yeah.
And that was the sort of a, "oh, I'm sorry, let's make up" type thing.
You painted that?
Well, yes, I did. I did that in pastel.
Is it a drawing? Is it a sketch?
That's from a magazine she cut out. If you see
Oh,
the
I
back
see.
Of it.
So you've not drawn that?
No, I haven't drawn
Yeah,
that. That is a
okay.
magazine piece. You can see the picture on the back.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And so I did a bigger picture.
It's a nice picture on the back as well.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to show that.
after we made up, I did actually do a painting.
Wow.
And that
based on this?
Based on that.
Beautiful.
So again, a big cat. And so she knew my strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
so that was that one.
Yeah.
So
1977.
77. So in 79 we married, and not long afterwards, a couple of years afterwards, we started a family. So being in work, I worked at the Christie for 36 years.
Really?
As a scientist, yeah. So there wasn't much room for art. So I only ever did much when we were on holiday and we could relax and things like that. And so that's carried on for many years. Then one day, my wife, we were at Salford Gallery, Museum and Gallery as it was then.
Museum and Art Gallery.
And my wife spotted a poster on the wall and she said, "Look at that, it's an art club, they meet every week here. Why don't you join it?" I think she just wanted to get me out of the way on a Wednesday. So that was a Wednesday evenings. And I joined the art club, and that was 1994.
So you've been a member of the art club since 1994?
Yeah.
Non-stop?
Non-stop, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you must know quite a lot about the history of the art club.
I do. I had the great fortune of talking to Roy Muir, who's a very long-standing, he's passed now. But he was a fount of all knowledge. He was one of the earlier group that founded it with Ernest Goodman, people like that.
He was founded it with Ernest Goodman?
Oh, yeah. Well, he was part of the group that Ernest Goodman founded. And I met Ernest several times.
I was just about to ask you, I didn't want to interrupt.
No.
Really, yeah.
I did meet him several times because we used to have an annual dinner. We don't now, but back in the day we had an annual dinner. We used to get invited as a past president stroke chairman. And he was a very nice, down-to-earth guy. And his attitude towards art was, just do it. Just do it. And he didn't have time for any of this, you know, you can't copy anything. We had a really good conversation once about copying, because a lot of the old guard at then, you can't copy anything, you have to do everything has to be original. And he said, nonsense, absolute nonsense. He said,
that was his philosophy, was it?
That was his philosophy. Copying trains your muscles to draw things the way they should be drawn. He said, that's perfectly all right. He said, copy away, he said.
Copy away, yeah.
That's how you learn.
It is an art in itself, not everybody can do it.
He said in life we copy everything. We copy fashion, we copy mannerisms. Why not copy
That's how we learn. Monkey see, monkey do, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You learn through being a child.
Yeah, that was one of my favourite quotes to my students.
Was it?
Yeah, when I was like, monkey see, monkey do. Go and work with that person over there.
Yeah.
So Ernest was a really good guy, and Roy was a good guy as well. He was
What was Roy's position in the club?
He, I think,
was just a member?
He was a member. I think in the past he'd been a chairman, but that was way before I ever joined.
Who do you think was the first chairman?
I think it was Ernest.
Was it Ernest?
Because they used to meet in his house at some point.
Correct, yeah.
And then they moved to the gallery at 53, so it was quite a long time before.
So what they did, he got a group of people together just meeting in his house to start the
and it was
club.
mainly critique. This is what Roy used to say to me. He said, we didn't sit and do paintings, we brought paintings to the house and we talked about them, and we had a critique evening where people say, oh, that's really good, why did you do that, how did you do that, or you know, you got your perspective slightly out there. And so it was more of an art group. I presume there was sherry or something.
Do you know where did he live?
I don't know where he lived, but I do know it was within Salford somewhere.
Did they then move to the art gallery, do you think? Or
in 53, the director of the art gallery then invited Ernest to bring the group in and form a club for Salfordonians to come and...
Salfordians.
Salfordians, Salfordonians.
Salfordonians. That's a new one.
I always call them Salfordonians.
I've never heard that before.
Salfordonians.
So now we are Salfordonians.
Yeah, Salfordians are. Well, I was in Higher Broughton, so we were posh, so we were Salfordonians.
Right, yeah, I was down here in Weast.
So you were Salfordian.
Who wasn't so posh? No. Just round the corner, just the corner of the church over there.
Yeah.
About 100 yards further on. I was born in a house there.
Yeah.
I was
born in Higher Broughton in Salford,
and
we used to spend. Mum used to bring us to the gallery, the Old Victorian Street.
So getting back to it, you was at the club when Ernest was there.
No, he retired well long
before
then.
You got to know him.
I got to know him afterwards. It was after the when I met him on a couple of occasions at these
It's a very interesting little chat about the history of the club, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to show us some more of your pictures?
Yeah,
then?
well, I mean, so I joined the club, and this is one of the pictures I love. We used to have, of course, life modelling.
Yeah.
When I first started, well, I'll talk about
Manchester United fan too.
Yeah.
It's got the sharp.
Yeah, that's my daughter, Debbie,
Yeah.
who modelled for us then.
Well.
And she was quite worried because she knew we did life modelling.
Yeah.
And so she thought, what is it you want me to do, Dad? I said, no, you're all right, look. Put your sports gear on. Hold this tennis racket.
Where did we start? Where was the location?
That, I think, was in the Langworthy.
The Langworthy pub?
No, the Langworthy Gallery.
Oh, the Langworthy Gallery. I'm showing me two colours here.
No, we used to have a pub club.
Yeah.
We used to go across to the Crescent pub, which was a free house.
Yeah.
Afterwards, and have a few drinks. Yeah, and that was pub club. I coined that. Yeah. So that was that.
Again, you like watercolour, don't you?
I did because
yeah.
Yes, because being a student, I couldn't use acrylics and things. I lived in digs and it wasn't found a landlady. Yeah. So I painted almost exclusively in pastel or watercolour. Yeah. It was only later I started with acrylics and things like that. So yeah, I started off as a member. The first day I got there to sort of find out what it was all about, I was stunned because A, we were in a gallery, and B, there was a life model going on, and I'd never seen a life model like that before, and it was a bit of a culture shock to see this rather good-looking naked lady stood there.
Did you get much drawing done?
No, somebody gave me a pencil and a piece of paper, and I can't remember what on earth I did with it. But that's what started it all off, and I wasn't sure at the beginning this is what I wanted, because I just used to do watercolour landscapes or tigers.
So you learned figure work as well. I think that's one of the good things, probably being a member of any art club, is that you get the practice and it stretches your ability, doesn't it? It puts you out, takes you out of your comfort zone.
It does.
It
does, and you also get a measure of your own worthiness, if you like, or ability, because you see people who are clearly much more talented than you are, but also people who are equivalent to you. Very few are less than so. And the club was welcoming to everybody. There was no judgment.
Which it still is.
And we used to have critique night. We used to invite an artist to come round and you'd bring your best piece out.
Yeah, I wonder if perhaps we should speak to the committee about that, and maybe that's something.
Maybe, yeah. Well, I did join the committee quite early on.
Yeah, I'm a member of the committee now, so I'm thinking of taking that to the committee.
That's worth doing.
That's another, the programmes that we have, life. What do we have? We have life. Still life, we have portrait, we have demonstrations and so on, and perhaps a critique. I tell you what, David come up with a very good one of having us coming in and talking about our art, like similar to what you're doing now.
Yes, I did that with David, if you remember, and I talked about mine, which is very much similar to what I'm talking about now. So I became a committee member, and there was a bit of a mix-up because another artist in the group who actually was an up-and-coming artist, they wanted him to be secretary. No, it wasn't you. And somebody got the wires crossed and invited me to be secretary. And then they had to sort of say, no, you're not secretary. And that was a bit embarrassing. But eventually I actually became this programme secretary. And some of the things I started to do to change things slightly is introduce new things. I introduced musicians, so we'd get a quartet. There used to be University of Manchester, always had an active quartet busking. And we used to bring them in, and I remember the first time we did it, I just told them to pose. They knew what was going on, but the rest of the club didn't. And then I clicked my fingers and they started playing, and that was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about drawing things in motion anyway. A few years ago, we had some ballet dancers in.
I did that.
I've done it at Whitby. When I go to Whitby, every year to the folk festival. I love folk music and that, and I like the...
Never have guessed that.
and the Morris dancers, I sat there while they're doing the Morris dancing and just get glimpses of little bits.
Yes, it's really hard.
And then go back home and put it together.
That was the problem. I mean, I should have brought a picture. I didn't have one of it. Drawing motion is very, very difficult.
Well, you don't catch it all. You have to do it later, don't you?
Yes. You have to get it all down
and then
go back later and do it properly. So we used to do that. And Fast and Furious was another one of mine, where people brought an object wrapped up so you couldn't see it. So we'd line them up and then we'd start. And you'd have like we do with life modelling, you've got 5-minute sketches.
Yeah,
so
like
you'd
those.
unwrap an
I like
object,
those,
put it
yeah.
on the table, and you've got 5 minutes to draw it. Take
Yeah.
it off, then the next object. And nobody knew what was
That's
next.
clever.
And the other skill was to scale it. You had to have a big piece of paper.
Yeah.
Okay, and the idea was to scale everything regarding you didn't know what was coming out into a picture. And it was quite challenging, but people enjoyed it, and they came up with amazing combinations of how to put all these objects together to make a picture. We haven't done that for a long time, I don't think. So I was doing things like that.
Yeah. What's that? It's caught my eye. The small one first. No, the small picture.
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is more recent. This is a pan pastel. I got very interested in pastel. I'm doing a lot of pastel work.
What's the location? Is it?
That's Buttermere.
Buttermere, yeah.
So I went with Les Darlow, who's an artist who runs workshops and courses.
Yeah. There's a song called "The Joy of Living," written by Ewan McCall, and he wrote the song about. He knew he was about to pass away, and he wrote the song to his wife and daughters, Peggy Seeger, wife and children. It was Peggy Seeger's wife, and it was about the joy of living, and it was his message to them. And his ashes were then taken up and cast on the Hernstones on Bleaklow. I've been up to the Bleaklow. I've been up there and sang the song, video, doing it, yeah. And when you see the video, The Joy of Living, which they produced, it's got a mountain like that in the background. I'm not too sure.
Buttermere, that
I think it might be Buttermere.
And that was another skill, opline as they call it, which is painting outside.
Yeah.
And it's extremely difficult because the light shifts and once my easel blew over.
It's like plein air as well, don't it?
Plein air, which is what that's about.
I'm getting mixed up with Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre, yeah. Now, the other thing about the club, going back to the club, was I was privileged to be involved in momentous stuff like the 50th anniversary. I did the exhibition because at one point I was program secretary and exhibition officer all in one go, because at that time we didn't split it up to subdivide it, so you got a big job lot on.
Yeah.
So I used to run that. And another thing we did, we were asked by Salford Council. They were twinning with a suburb of Paris, San Juan.
Yeah, I've been there.
And those artists were coming over, and would we host them?
Yeah.
And so me and Roy Muir.
I've worked in San Juan.
Yeah, me and Roy Muir, and Stephen, who became our chairman eventually. We actually had to entertain them for the weekend, and they brought paintings over for that exhibition.
So that was part of that.
And this was one, and it was this is the one I produced. Now this. I'm very pleased with this because these are actually sketches from my sketchbook.
An excellent painting. Do you like this one? Do you like this painting? What do you think? Yeah. This is one of the church members.
Oh, it's lovely then.
You like that? Yeah.
So each of these is cut out from my sketchbook.
Yeah.
From the portrait drawings or life drawings. That's Audrey. She was still doing life modelling at 82, and her husband Jim was the T-boy. He was a really good collage artist, and one of the French artists had put a collage in, and he immediately recognised this as a collage.
It's mixed media, isn't it?
It is mixed media because I never scaled well on the sketchbook, so Audrey's feet were shot off, so I put them in here on the background. So that's how I composed that.
See the pencil. It's pencil, isn't it?
No, these are all cut out, these are stuck on, and this is added onto the background to make continuity.
Of course, yeah.
Because Audrey's feet weren't at the edge of the sketchbook, so they weren't there. So what I did is I then drew them in afterwards.
That's amazing.
For the content, and they're saying here for continuity.
Yeah.
Because this was part of this one, I think, and this was another one. So I created a collage from the sketchbook, drawings of mine.
So all of these, that one there actually pulls off, doesn't it?
Yeah, the older.
Yeah. And you've drawn these in because they weren't on the pitch. So these are all separate drawings.
Yeah, that have been pasted in.
Pasted on.
As a collage.
As a collage,
sketchbook collage. And it's called, if I can just look at this title, Life at Salford Art Club. That's what I call it.
Excellent. Very good. Yeah.
Not quite life drawing, but Audrey was a legend in this thing.
Yeah.
And I have a little anecdotal anecdotal tale about that, if I may.
Go on. The stage is yours.
I was programme secretary, and we had a life model in, like Audrey, she was in later years, which was fine. And we had a new member, and afterwards he pulled me on one side, and I think it was in the tea break, and he said, I'm not happy. I said, why, what's wrong? He said, I don't think it's right to get old ladies to take the clothes off and stand there naked. It's very demeaning. It's not very respectable.
Yeah.
So I said, well, actually, that's Audrey. She's been doing that since she was early 20s. She was a legend for life modelling at the art school, Northern School of Art. I said, and she's perfectly happy with it. I said, why aren't you? He said, well, I think it's demeaning. So I said to him, what you actually want, isn't it? You want nice young women.
Oh,
don't.
You've got to find where the shadings are.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head. Shape.
Yeah.
Because it's easy with a stereotypical shape of a human body, which
quite
is 2
easy
arms,
to
2
do,
legs,
really.
and a head. It's very easy.
Yeah.
But when you've got somebody who's obese or very old, crinkly skin, it's all part of the learning process.
That's the challenge, isn't it?
And that is the challenge, and that's the great thing about art. Is that it's not straightforward and easy like it was at school.
Yeah, I don't do my life.
That's an eye.
Anyway, to finish off, what do you think of this lovely church?
Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. I think these churches, it's sad in a way that they're not back to the north as they used to be. But they're a bastion of community, really. The history of them and how they've supported the community in one way or another for as long as they've been built. You know, and to be repurposed in the same vein, obviously, they're religious buildings. And rather than become warehouses, flats, you know, rather than be stretches, school club,
We want to rearrange all this, these pews, and make them into a community area. We perhaps have art groups, we could have theatre groups, coffee mornings, mum and toddlers, so it can be part of the community as well.
Well, that's what we're doing up at St Mary's in Prestwich, where I live, is they have a mum and toddlers group, and they have Sunday schools as well sometimes.
They are, and as you just said, they're a bastion of, what would you say?
Of the community and culture. You know, and so many people were married here, and often married and had their children baptised and then were buried through the church. You know, and
the artwork in the church.
The artwork in the church.
The windows.
Beautiful artwork. Some of them are being now repurposed. The one, St John's in Clew Street in High Broughton, my mum and dad were married there, and my dad was actually buried from there, but now that's an Ethiopian Christian church. And the New Harvest, I think, on Chapel Street, I think that's repurposed as another church. And there's another one which is a Chinese Christian.
So they're being reinvented, if you like, and still being part of the community. Anyway, with that, I'd like to thank you, Tim, for coming along.
Well, thank you.
Joining the service and taking part in that, and allowing me to engage in a very interesting conversation with you.
Well, it's my privilege tonight.
So, until next time, folks, I've got a special guest on next week as well, which you will see when I post it. So, I'll see you all again, and thank you for watching. Bye, everybody.